Welcome to episode 10 of 5D Tea Time. I am your co-host, Crystal Kristen, with
Lindsay Love.
Yay. We're so happy to be here with you today. This video is a little bit delayed, and we're kind of like, what do we want to talk about? Um, there's so many things always to talk about. We're like, what's our theme? So we thought we'd just kind of hit play and have a little ramble session with you all. Does that sound good to you, Lindsay?
Yeah, that feels great. That feels
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, what I'm kind of curious about, because something I go in these phases where I'm like, oh, super inspired and motivated and feel on track. And then sometimes feel a little bit like, whew, in the dust, I don't know, just in the debris of like, okay, things are a little disorganized. What is my vision? How do I motivate myself from that place? Um, so I'm curious, Lindsay, to just maybe invite this into our conversation. Like, how do you tap into your vision for your life? Again and again and again, like, and keep coming back to it. Like, because our vision, maybe our initial vision when we were 18 has evolved to be different now that we're 40. But
Mm.
it that vision, that thing at 18 or even 8, that kind of, but more like, let's just say like the beginning of our adulthood, if we can say 18 is about that. Like, or 28, whatever benchmark we want to, because 28 is when our Saturn returns, right? So maybe that's the beginning of our adulthood when things really get restructured.
Yeah, and the
Um,
brain fully grows together, apparently.
yeah. So maybe we
So,
say like 28. That's kind of a good,
mm.
but like, how, how do you align yourself? Like, what have you done and what do you do? Simple or profound, to kind of get you like oriented and aligned with that direction of what you're wanting your life to be like and feel like and look like. What do you do? Do you have any thoughts?
I, I suppose I trust the process. So that's the thing that's coming up right now. So for instance, I have a couple of manifestations occurring in my life right now that honestly I daydreamt up in my early 20s. It's
Mhm.
really fascinating. And not that I let go of those, not that I fully let go of those manifestations, but it's almost kind of like I forgot about them in a way, because life really took over and, other things became inspirations and I started reaching and grasping for those things and focusing on those things. But what I've really realized is that it's really cool because when a manifestation does finally occur, it's almost as if every other experience that I've had in my life up until that point has prepared me for that very moment.
Mhm.
So I feel as though, I feel as though in the acute or like the short term, what I do is just focus on inspired action, right? Like I dream up a goal, I dream up a vision, I want to create it, I want to manifest it. But then in a way, I kind of just let that go. I let it be, and I trust that it's going to happen because I feel in a way the more we think about something, it's like the more we're lacking it because we're recognizing the more we think about it that we don't have it yet. So for me, what I've noticed with kind of creation of goals and dreams and big things I've wanted in my reality, it's almost like dream it up, recognize that it's there, think of it occasionally, but ultimately let it go. And in a way, create micro goals that are working towards the achievement of that goal. But then again, I mean, do we even have to intentionally create those micro goals, or are they just happening automatically, inspired wise? You know, it's kind of like, okay, I have this big goal of one day. For instance, I coached somebody recently who always wanted to go to Bali her entire life, right? And and so suddenly, just out of the blue, she had kind of forgotten about it, but there were all of these small, within the past 2 years, like small things coming up, preparing. It's almost like the timing was right, and these little inspired actions that she was taking. And then she would take another inspired action, and come to find out in hindsight, all of those inspired actions at the time seemingly disconnected or unimportant or not even connected to that goal were actually lining up for her to get to Bali. And then she went to Bali this last spring, and it was amazing. She had such a beautiful trip. And so I think that, you know, we've made a video about divine timing, and I truly believe in divine timing. But in a way, it's like dream the dream, dream the goal, let it go as much as possible, and then just follow. I just follow my heart, or where I feel inspired to learn more about, or what I feel like doing in the moment. And then once the dream is realized, I love the reflection piece of it in hindsight, looking back and being like, wow, I did that thing. And then by doing that thing, it led me to that person or that thing, and it connected me there. And then that connected me there. And then suddenly the dream occurred, and I wasn't even really trying to make it happen. I just allowed the universe to kind of lay it out or work it out for me better than I could have ever planned it myself.
It's so beautiful. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. That's
Mhm.
what comes to mind, you know, because you put the action into like rowing,
Mm.
you know,
Yeah.
there is action, there is effort, there is movement, but like gently down the stream, like merrily, merrily, merrily. I mean, the more joy we can have, you know, life is but a dream. It does kind of it comes into the confluence of like becoming, you know, whatever it is we're intending or moving towards is flowing towards us. Um, and I think that's an orientation of like working with spirit, you know, working with spirit in in the world and following the signs of spirit.
Mhm.
Um, it's like for me, there's always been this like dream inside of me, and it's so abstract. I'm just now learning to articulate it, like what that is. And I've been like articulating it for decades, yet it's like becoming more and more revealed as I kind of become more and more revealed to myself. Like my soul becomes more revealed through this body. I remember like even in seventh grade, my family would go on vacation and we'd go to this place called David's Gallery, and it had like bumper stickers and just kind of like it was like an old head shop. It was like an old head shop from like the 60s. So it had incense and just all sorts of, you know, cool hippie silky clothes and all that. And I was super into all of that, just like earthy, um, kind of style. Back then especially, and so really attracted to the music and everything. But I remember getting this pendant, and it had like a symbol of the earth, and it had a peace sign in the middle, and on the back it had my initials like inscribed into the piece of metal. And I was like, oh, like I'm here to be, I'm here for world peace. Like I'm here because that's my mission, like as is, like I hope many of the awakening hearts of humanity. That's why we're here, is to like unify and be a part of this awakening of the planet and awakening of human consciousness. And just I I feel so alive just saying that now. But that was like a huge symbol. That was like a huge treasure on my map. And like yeah, it's like clear as day. It's like, oh yeah, that this is significant. Like this is for me. This is like a treasure on the map. And
Mm.
yeah, so for me, like these things like mean a lot. Like I'm not like, oh, that's just a random. I'm like, no, that is spirit talking to me. And I know that and feel that to be true. It's like evidence, you know, that confirms my soul inside this earth walk. Um, so yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like a part of the confluence too, is just like listening and observing and the people that have come into my life at the right time to offer the gift that helps accelerate me to that next level of just freedom inside of the body. Um, yeah, all those things, even like um, numbers, you know, number patterns. 111, 333, 777, you know, these different like codes that I see on the back of license plates or on the clock, you know, it's kind of like we're inside the matrix, like inside the realm of time, yet like those are the alignments to like break through and like connect with spirit, you know, it's like what are we thinking and what's like our state of mind, what's my state of mind whenever I'm seeing the 1111, because 1111 is like direct alignment, that's the channel, that's the portal to spirit. So it's like whatever, wherever my mind is, that is like direct manifestation. So it's like okay, like, you know, really anchor in the, you know, positive psychology, like the positive intention, the positive the prayer to connect spirit into that moment, anchor that. So I feel like for me, that's how I kind of have, I don't know, I guess I'm talking about like more like trust, I guess, at this point with like spirit and like the vision or like the impulse of my soul, because like my soul has a very abstract vision, but ultimately it is for like this sense of like world peace or just like earth and humanity's awakening. That's the project that I'm here for. And then there's like, you know, of course, um how to articulate that into the earth walk, but I mean that's like the meta thing. So, you know, how do my like habits of my daily life and kind of choices on the path, and you know, how does my mind and my heart, my emotions and my physical body like align with that vision. And it's like this constant like coaching myself to stay in that direction and not be like pulled off in the side streams or like the rapids or the, you know, all the distractions of living, but like just to stay in that. And spirit drops messages in, you know, to just support that. If we're listening, you know, if I'm listening and awake, in which, yeah, definitely. And asking for signs too, you know, they come like strong
Mm.
um, when they're asked for, when we're asked for spirit to like guide us, give us a sign. I mean, boom, there's the turtle, or you know, or like what, you know, but I mean, this is real. This is like very direct for me, like the way life communicates. It's nonverbal, but it's so potent. I mean, it's more potent than verbal for me, um, often. Did I just
I
derail?
love that.
But
No, that was awesome. That was awesome.
mm,
I'm just thinking like this concept of signs and which has always been really important in my life along my journey as well. Um, but the thing that stands out the most is the recent breast cancer journey that I was on. And, you know, when going through it, it's like I couldn't think about the big picture of what was going to happen, you know, what I was going to choose as far as treatment and all of that overall, overarching. I couldn't think about that. I could only think about, okay, I want to beat this thing, and this is the goal I want to get to. And then it was like I was all I could do was surrender to the process and trust the signs along the way.
Mhm.
And so when people would ask me like, "Oh, are you going to do radiation?" Well, radiation was at the end, I'm like, I have no idea. I mean, I don't know until I get there.
Mhm.
But it was just so powerful because what would happen was I would make a decision about something, I would wait and feel like, okay, yes, that's the right decision. And then the next big thing would come up, and sometimes I didn't know. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to choose that. I don't know if that's the direction I want to go. And I would pray about it, or I would talk to source or spirit or great spirit or whatever. Um, for me, kind of prayers is how I like to refer to it. And I would just ask, like, give me a sign, show me what to do. I'm feeling a little lost here. I might be moving in this direction a little bit. I need something supportive or something to tell me, no, that's not the direction. You actually need to go this way. And every time it came in
Mhm.
the most profound ways. I mean, just, it blew my mind. And I've been, I've seen signs my entire life. I've always trusted in those things and always experienced that. But yeah, signs are very, very powerful. And I think asking so often, we forget to ask
Mhm.
for support or ask for a sign. And
Mhm.
it's almost like Great Spirit is like, it's waiting, you
Mhm.
know, just ask for what you need. And it's almost immediate. It's, sometimes, okay, it takes a little while and it happens in its own time, but um, oftentimes it's immediate. And it's so powerful and beautiful for me because I can be quite overly analytical. Um, my brain tends to, reel about things on occasion. It's gotten better throughout life with meditation and stuff. But, it- you know, sometimes we just can't figure things out analytically. Sometimes, no matter how long we think it over, or how logical it seems, or statistically this happens, or whatever, asking, the mind can't figure it out. So asking source, asking for support, asking for a sign, show me the way, help, and then surrender. And it's just amazing how it comes. It comes and it guides and it has always shown me the way. And the thing that I sometimes forget is I need to ask.
Mhm. That's huge. Asking and then, because like asking is the prayer, asking for the help, the support, the higher level vision, information to come in. And then like the meditative piece is listening and like
Mm,
really trusting what you hear when you listen.
yeah.
So there's like active and then receptive piece of that. And that's, I mean, that's really working with the yin and yang, that's working with like that yang, like action, ask, we have to take initiative because it's a kind of a non-interference zone, it's a like if there is free will, it's this piece. The choice to ask for spirit to come into our life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the only free will we've got, I feel is choice in how we direct our energy. And it's
Hmm.
a lot, just so much easier when we're working with the company of heaven to like the company, like the family of heaven to like be
Yeah.
with us to guide us. I mean, it's like a whole support team, a whole support network. I mean, you described it so beautifully, like in your recent example, just the breast cancer journey and not knowing, like you knew you had the big goal of, beating this thing and then all the micro steps is kind of like one at a time and referencing the highest, the highest source. And yeah, and then it sounds like you were so receptive to receive the messages, even though your mind would have been like, oh, no, no, I shouldn't do that, or, that's not the highest way, or whatever. But then it's like, no, like your higher self, sourcing from the heavenly realms, the God realms, like when it's divinely guided, yeah, it's revealed. You can feel it in your body as like, yes, this
Mm.
is the way to choose, not what this person thinks I should do, or what this kind of culture thinks I should do, or this kind of culture thinks I should do. Like, should I do it allopathic or should I do it, homeopathic? And it's like, well, allopathic says this and homeopathic says this. And I'm
Yeah.
more aligned with homeopathic, but sometimes like it's like what is true? Not these
Yes.
like ideas of what we think we should do because we're in some sort of group think outside of us. It's like no, like channeled from source,
Mm.
from higher self link. And yeah, cool. I mean, amazing. You're amazing.
You know what else is coming up is this idea of with any goal, that we were just talking about, that the achievement of like beating breast cancer. But with any goal, oftentimes if it's a big goal, and a lot of us dream smaller than we should, we kind of like hold ourselves back a little bit. It's like, oh, how will I ever achieve that? And I actually want this bigger thing. But if we stay solely focused on the end goal, it feels quite overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, how in the world will I get there? Will I achieve that? And um and so I think that coming full circle about what we kind of were talking about in the beginning is like, dream the dream, hold the goal, but then let it go and just start doing like the day-to-day micro goals and celebrating those successes and what you can do. And then suddenly you achieve something and it's like, wow, how there were so many steps in order to get here. And if I would have remained focused on how many steps were needed, I probably never would have achieved it because it's just exhausting and overwhelming to think about. But the fact that I dreamt the goal and then I let it go and just let source or spirit kind of take charge and guide me through my feeling system and my inspiration system, and through my inspired action. And it's just so powerful how we can achieve these massive things that maybe we didn't think were possible in the beginning. But um
You said something so powerful earlier too that like completely unlocks abundance code. And it was when you said like when you're overthinking of the goal or of the thing, it puts a separation. It becomes almost more distant from you. Where it's like if we just start to code our reality as it being realized inside the micro step of the moment, like it's almost like fractal because like the big goal is always there, and it might even be like the nucleus of every moment. Maybe it's like the power source of every moment. um Yet if we're like over focused, over concentrated on it, it will yeah, maybe just like, yeah, like you said, how will I ever get there? But to almost kind of have more open focus with it, and really just allow the fullness of like the steps, just like being in the moment, giving like the full richness of life, and really infusing gratitude, I think, like inside of our prayerful action and our receptive listening through our senses, the signs that guide us. Um, yeah, it's like unlocks kind of like it starts to unlock like the fullness of the vision inside of every step. Like we think it has to be some like big grandiose thing, but um it's actually it's happening in every moment. Like that vision, that dream is inside of every moment. The more we can just like be fully like present. Um yeah, just the joy of like just living the life becomes the vision. Like it's like, oh, it's already here. It's totally like Wizard of Oz, you know? I mean, it was within me all along. Like there's no place like home. You know, she goes on this like crazy trip, like with these witches and finding courage in the brain and the heart and what was it? The courage, the it was the brain with the scarecrow
Courage with the lion.
and the courage with the lion and the heart with the Tin Man,
The
right?
Tin Man, that's what it was. Yeah.
Tin Man. And so they're all like on this journey, and she's trying to find her way back home, and all the sedation with the poppies. There's just so much sedation and like, oh, okay, Oz has the answer when I get to Oz, but it's just like
Yeah.
it's all a falsified,
So much disillusionment. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's all disillusion. And then, the good witch comes in. She's like, it was within you all along. Click your heels,
That gives
you
me
know,
chills. Yeah.
click your heels 3 times. There's no place like home. And then boom, she's there. And it was just a dream. But yeah, it's like really like the dream is within us. It's really not outside of us. And whatever we feel, what we felt as children, that dream, that vision, it's real. Like it's real. It's really real. It's the most real thing that's here. Like actually the whole trip of life is the illusion. Like the dream is that vision that you came into the world with. And it might be abstract, but I mean it's your soul, and it's like it's here. You're meant to be here. Everybody's meant to be here to really express their light into this world, however that looks. It's all about raising the vibration of ourselves and inside our families, and liberating ourselves from the shackles of this like just the disillusionment, um,
Mhm.
ancestral imprints and all of that that's kind of like running the show. um, but very, very, very it's a hero's journey, a heroine's journey for sure,
Mm.
to rediscover the vision and to like hold it sacred and believe in it with all our hearts. Yeah.
Yeah, I can really relate to the story you told of finding that, was it a pendant?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I found one in your mom's shop with a dandelion on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always, really quite obsessed with dandelions as a child. And then everybody wants to kill them. And I never understood because they're so medicinal and beautiful, right? You can make wine out of the flowers or mead, and then you can eat the leaves. And then the root is like one of the best um, liver supports, liver detoxes that exist. But everybody wanted to spray Roundup on them. Anyway, this is a total side note. But on the back of the pendant with the dandelion, so the dandelion was what originally attracted me in. And on the back of it, it said, spread your love wherever you go. And that was it for me. I was like, oh, that's my mission on this earth, you know, kind of like the peace thing that you were speaking about. It was the same for me. I was like, oh, that's why I'm here. So whatever that looks like, whether, I go through a day and I don't feel like I'm aligned with my soul's purpose or doing the thing that I want to do or achieving a big goal that I have, ultimately my interactions with people and my energy levels, like where I keep my vibe and where my mind is, um, that's the work. That's the purpose.
Mhm.
It's not achieving some like big far off goal. Yeah, okay, that's great. But ultimately, yeah, already kind of like living what my soul felt like I was aligned, or the reason why I came here at this time.
So good. Does that feel complete? Does it, do you think we're,
Feels complete to me.
it's, yeah,
How
such a
about
good
you?
conversation. Would, oh yeah, yeah, I think so. I think so. It's, it's just, you know, our souls, we're all so beautiful, you know, like our essence is just so perfect and I mean celestial, you know, and yeah, the work is to uncover that and let that be more free inside this realm. So I really feel we're here to bring heaven to earth and earth to heaven, you know, really uniting the two realms inside of us. So it's
Mhm.
deep work, you know, it's very deep and it's righteous. It's very righteous work. It's the righteous path. Not self-righteous, not ego righteous, like spiritually righteous, like journey to be on. And it's a heroine's journey for sure.
I
Yeah.
love that, girl. Beautiful,
We're here,
beautiful
you know, Lindsay and
submission.
I both, we see clients, we're here to support people, you know. So Lindsay's a health and wellness coach and I'm a healer working with early imprints and nervous system unwinding. Yeah. So lots of good stuff here if anybody needs support. Um, yeah, we'll have links to our stuff in the description box. If not today, soon. At some point, we'll get all those links set up so people can like reach out to us if they're needing support.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. And there's
What?
a retreat coming up soon.
Oh, the solstice, summer solstice meditation.
Oh, there's a meditation, and
Summer
there's a
solstice meditation. We'll do
what?
we'll do retreat announcement when we can tag the link next
Okay,
week. Next
perfect.
week. But yeah, Wednesday, summer solstice, the 21st, 3 o'clock Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a
Zoom.
summer solstice meditation. So we'll drop that link below for sure.
Yep. And that's online. So, and everybody's welcome. Bring all your friends. It's going to be fabulous.
Yes. Wonderful, Linz. Thank you. And thanks for these earrings.
Oh, they look so good on you, girl.
I actually haven't worn them yet,
Good.
so it's fun to bring them out
Uh,
in the summertime.
there's a local artist in Florida who made those.
Mhm.
So,
So fun. They're fun.
mhm.
Fun in the summertime.
Yay, summertime vibes.
Okay, much love to you
Everyone,
all.
much love.
Peace and
Thanks,
blessings.
thanks for watching.